welcome back to Unhinged Essentials. This would be the week of the 8th. I have Miss Mickey back with us this week. Welcome back.
Thank you. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day and everyone had a great Easter.
Yeah, we kind of missed Easter, the whole thing. Yeah. Kind of. I forgot to even mention it last week. My bad.
I wasn't thinking about it either.
So what did you have any big family plans, big family get-together?
No, actually, it was a very small family get-together. Just a few of the family came, but we made some good food.
Awesome.
Ham and green beans and mashed potatoes,
All the yumminess.
Chocolate pie, of course.
Taco pie? Okay, what's a taco pie?
Chocolate pie.
Oh, I thought you said taco pie.
No, I'll get you some Q-tips. We'll work on that.
I was like, what's a taco pie? Okay, you have to explain yourself. So chocolate pie actually does sound pretty good.
It was very good.
Well, we thought we'd start out this week with a little bit of news this week. So what you got going on over there?
Well, right now we have the war in Iran, where President Trump's altering strategy regarding the war launched on February 28th with conflicting reports on operation timelines. Iran continues to challenge U.S. deadlines, and the U.S. warplane was reported shot down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't hear about the plane getting shot down, but
I heard about them getting shot down, but and I guess there was somebody missing or something. I honestly didn't look at the news. I probably should have, but
did not hear anything about anybody missing at all. But I don't know.
I thought it seemed like they were missing or something. They may have gotten them back by now. I don't remember.
I'm
sorry. My bad.
It depends on where it's not down at, I suppose.
I probably should have done just a little bit more research.
Well, I probably should have too, but I did not. Well, the space exploration, NASA's Artemis, I think if I'm pronouncing that right, Artemis 2 mission has entered its third day, with the crew successfully traveling around the far side of the moon. So that's kind of exciting. Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool because it launched on, I can't remember if it was Friday or Saturday.
We actually just talked about that. I cannot remember what day it launched.
I want to say it was Saturday. This is the third day, right? So.
Yeah.
So I guess it was launched Friday. On Friday then. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think it was Friday.
I thought that was pretty cool though.
So, and a federal judge has blocked Trump administration demand for colleges to prove they do not consider race and admissions, calling the move chaotic notes. So I didn't know. I know colleges have to have a certain amount of every ethnicity that they can.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that they were really considering race as part of their admissions.
Well, even a hospital here in Oklahoma, they will hire their own race before they would hire any other ethnicity.
Right. So,
if there's, management, that race would get it before, say, a Caucasian would. So,
That's true.
I
think that happens in a lot of businesses, though, really.
I guess it's the benefit of being kind of government ran, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, moving on.
Cabinet shakeups. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has led the outsters. Today I'm blah, blah, blah.
Words are hard.
Extending administration personnel changes according to the CBS News and the Week News. So I don't really know what they're going with that, but they're having a shakeup.
Okay. All right. Let's all shake it up. Okay.
Well, in the international news, Russia launched a drone attack on Odessa, Ukraine, causing casualties.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it's sad. I hate that anybody dies.
Oh, yeah.
So the EPA has added microplastics and certain drugs to the monitoring list for tap water.
Okay.
So now let's everybody run to the sink and get a drink and find out if we get sick or not, I guess.
I'm all well water here, so it's
Right. And in the entertainment system this week, Super Mario Galaxy movie grossed $372.5 million globally.
Okay, I haven't even heard of that. What is that? Do you know?
It's based off the game, the Super Mario game, but it's the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Is it a cartoon or?
Yes, it's cartoonish. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Very much so. My kids have watched it, I think, 100 times.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, Oklahoma lawmakers are reviewing a $50 million water infrastructure proposal, while Attorney General Gentner Drummond is seeking to end in-state tuition and undocumented students, according to KOSU and KXII. So, and that is all I have in the news for the week.
Okay, and then on the nursing side of it, so I was doing a little bit of research, not a lot, just a little bit, but they have like it's called a Moxie, and I guess in Texas they're actually utilizing this. It's a robot that delivers it'll deliver trays, meal trays, it'll deliver blood, specimens, things like that. And so I kind of went to the website and kind of looked at it and read over a little bit of it, and it showed that it was had like a 99% accuracy. It's supposed to relieve like some of the stress on healthcare staff. And then
I've heard of drones delivering packages from the air.
Isn't that an Amazon thing?
So I've heard of the drones, and I've heard of I don't know if it's Amazon exactly or if it's the United States Postal Service, but one of them or some of them are using drones to deliver packages, but I've never heard of anything in the nursing thing, which is pretty cool because you could probably get stuff somewhere quicker.
Yeah, I mean, you're not have to take time out of your own day to go and run and try to get all the things done. You know what I mean? Like if you have specimens or whatever, you just drop it in the machine. It'll take it to where it needs to go, and it's supposed to be
really cool.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like you can lock it where nobody can get into it, where you have to have a code to get into it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And something about that though, like transplant recipients and stuff, they have to get that stuff where it needs to go like super quick.
Yeah.
So if they could drop that into something they could carry, organ of some kind, that would be really amazing for, transportation for that, because, you got to stop and land in a helicopter, stop and land in a plane, transport it to the plane, and if you got a drone, you drop in the box, send the drone off, you're there an hour early.
I wonder if that would actually work though, because I mean, with organs and stuff like that, you would have to keep it at a certain temperature, and
right, but
it would have to be
those styrofoam things that they do mail, like insulin, anything that has to be refrigerated.
Yeah.
And they mail it with ice packs in it. And when I myself use insulin, and when I've had to have it mailed, the ice packs are still ice, and they come in these big, like 4-inch styrofoam containers.
I guess you would have to be more concerned about like weight and things like that for it. But I mean, who knows? I mean, the way everything's progressing, it could happen at some point. Have a liver transplant needed, and somebody donates their liver, and then stick it in a box and fly it there, and it'll be there in a couple hours.
I just think that would be amazing, though.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. But I mean, the Moxie thing is pretty cool, though. I mean, like, not all the hospitals have the sucky tubey, the vacuum thing that they can stick things in. So I've worked at a couple of hospitals that did have that, and it made it pretty handy until things get lost.
Right.
And then the equipment decides to dump it all out in like a month later, and so you have ripe urine and clotted blood and everything else.
Right. Well, the thought of transporting an organ through the air by drone would be, what if it got lost?
Or if it crashed, that would be awful.
You got an organ sitting out in somebody's field.
It's like there's something laying out in the backyard and the dog's eating it. That's not good.
And I'm just saying, that's a real thing too, because equipment breaks down and things don't always go where they're supposed to go.
That's awful.
Yeah, that's a morbid thought there for a moment.
And then there's also, like in nursing, that shows that there's going to be a probable 40% reduction in the amount of nurses by 2029. and it's
Why?
due to burnout,
Well, I can see
understaffing.
that.
I mean, honestly,
I
it's a
can
whole
see
thing.
the burnout, though. I really can. I have been to the emergency rooms 100 million times, and those nurses are tired.
Oh yeah,
They
very,
are
very.
tired. They're working doubles. Some of them are working triples.
Yeah, and I
They're
mean, you don't know how
tired.
many days they're picking up in a pay period. You know, I mean,
Right.
I've worked 9 days in a pay period, 10 days in a pay period. I'm not a very pleasant person after I do it, but
Listen,
it's
like I don't have the nursing experience, but the home health experience I've had, I have been on a 72-hour shift.
ugh, I couldn't.
And you're barely moving at the end of that shift,
Hmm.
barely moving.
I don't know. It's like, I mean, burnout's a real thing, though. I mean, it's hard. It's like because you go to work, you take care of sick people all day, and then Lord forbid you come home and one of your kids are sick or your spouse is
Oh,
sick, and then it's like, oh, I get
but
to do this
that's
all over again. This is
right. That's
fun.
how it goes. It always works that way.
know? And then there was another thing that I read. There was actually a Utah nurse that talked her friend into believing that she was sick, and so she OD'd her on insulin.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so she was actually convicted for manslaughter, which I find
Well, I mean,
scary.
that she should have been because you don't just give insulin to somebody who's not needing it.
I mean, she had this was her friend. She had her convinced that she was sick, like she was dying, and she
Well,
gave her
I'll
insulin.
tell you, that's not a friend.
Right?
Um, I've had plenty of friends, but none of them ever tried to convince me that I was dying
Yeah.
or that I needed to die.
That's, I
No,
mean,
that's
it's
not a friend.
awful. It really
That is
is.
awful.
It's like,
It's
I
awful.
mean, how, I mean, you're put in that position to take care of people, but then you're gonna try to convince somebody that they're sick and you're gonna kill them.
Isn't that like that Munchausen by proxy or
Well,
whatever?
it showed like from what I read, it was like financially motivated.
Oh, maybe she
So
was in her will.
yeah, so I think it was more she was convincing her of this. Her friend had money, maybe didn't have
You know,
family or whatever, and so she
I personally would rather have my friend than my friend's money
right. I
because
mean,
my friend means more to me than that damn dollar does.
right. I mean, I mean, maybe she was desperate enough, but I mean, she's convicted of manslaughter, so I mean,
That's
thank
just
God
sad.
she's not going to have a nursing license anymore.
No,
So,
should not none.
so there are some twisted peoples out there,
Yes, there are.
for sure.
And you know what else is out there?
What?
A handful of feral children.
Yes. So, so speaking of that, that would be our topic this week. Primarily, I remember when I was a kid, if I acted out, I guess is the best way to put it, I would be in trouble.
Backhanded, butt spanked, whatever.
Uh huh.
To act like a child.
I think I remember getting a bloody nose when I tried to be acting out.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I
5 or
remember
6
this.
times.
I'm like,
Absolutely.
I learned
Listen,
real quick. Don't be yelling at mama, cause you
we
gonna
went
get
to the
hit.
restaurant, and I tell you, I don't mind children. I love kids. I have 14 of them, so I don't mind kids at all. But we went to this restaurant, and it's a nice restaurant, quiet dinner. People are talking, nobody's screaming, yelling, and this group of little kids was in there just hanging over the seats and poking other people. And, the parents were just watching them, not telling them to sit down, not telling them to leave people alone. I almost had to say something, but I didn't because I kind of might have took it too far. But, if you're not going to discipline your children in public or correct them in public, somebody else is going to.
Well, I mean, honestly, if you're in public, you do not need to have your children acting like they special.
No,
I'm
no, because
like,
my kids would have, you of all people would know, my kids would have totally been torn apart.
oh yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
couldn't. I've never understood why people are afraid to.
Discipline their kids in
Yeah, that's
public.
what
Oh,
I was
no.
looking for. I don't understand that. It's like when I was a kid, I mean, I was no stranger to getting my butt tore up.
Me either. Me either.
I mean,
One
if I
guy
acted stupid, I was
switched.
going to get into some trouble. And I
If
wouldn't
I
go out.
acted like that in public, my mother would have took me to the restroom in that store or restaurant or out to the car, and whatever videos they have would have showed her busting my tail like a big boy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that spanking your kids is the right thing to do, but at least
But
make
there's a
them
difference between
mind.
spanking and abuse. That's the thing that people don't get.
I
You can
mean, I
spank your
mean,
kids and not abuse them.
I mean, it's I mean, I'm not like pro beat your children. I'm not that person. But at
Oh
least
no.
make them mind. I mean, it's like if they're acting stupid, get up and leave.
Well, something. I mean, they at least have control over them, where they know that look that you give them, or they know that tone of your voice, or they know that if they don't stop now, they're in some serious trouble when you get home.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's like I remember working in an ER. This has been several years ago. And this person brought in their kid, and of course I was the nurse for him. That kid almost kicked me in my junk. I was like,
Yeah,
I corrected the situation. The mother just looked at me, and
right.
I was like, if you're not gonna do it, I promise you, I'm gonna do it because you're not gonna kick
Exactly.
me in my junk. That ain't gonna happen.
Right. There's no need for that.
I'm like, I don't, no, no, no,
So, well,
no,
I had
no.
my mother-in-law in the ER one night, and she was sick, really sick. And there was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 kids in there. And then at first they were just sitting kind of quietly. They were talking to each other, talking to their parents. I think it was 2 different sets of parents. But it was 4 to 5 kids. And then all of a sudden they just got this burst of energy, and they were running around, tripped over my mother-in-law's feet,
Hmm.
everything. And I got pissed, and I did say something, because you're not going to come in here into the emergency room and like cause my mother more distress that she's already under.
Well, I mean,
And
it's really uncalled for. I mean, it's inappropriate to have your kid. I mean, if your kid is sick and is screaming and crying and you can't console them, I get that.
that's one thing.
It is 100% because I mean, number one, the kid's scared,
Right.
completely scared because I mean, they're in an ER. It's a strange place. I mean, unless their parents is bringing them there 4 and 5 times a week, which I see. Anyway,
And the doctor's office, yeah.
I mean, it's like they're scared, and I get that, and they don't feel good on top of that. And I mean, I've seen parents bring kids in there that were perfect, like
Right.
like troopers. They sat there, they
Right.
were quiet, they didn't act stupid, and don't bring your kid to the ER and let them crawl around on the floor. That is
Yeah, that's
disgusting.
probably not the best place for them to be crawling anyway.
It's disgusting. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, do you know the things that we step in? And then we're
Oh,
walking all
God,
over that
yes.
floor, and that is gross. And you pray to God that they have a decent housekeeper that's cleaning those floors.
Right,
I'm
right.
like, if they're expecting the nursing staff to get to it, you're probably going to be walking in some stuff that you don't want to see or know about.
Well, and yeah, also, like, okay, so I going back into the ER, like in the back part, not in the waiting area.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes, you got these kids that are not sick. They're there because mom's sick or dad's sick or brother or sister are sick. And then they got the ones that are not sick. And they're like wanting to leave. They're like bitching, complaining, and being so loud. And then when they don't get their way, they're throwing fits and screaming and stuff. How is that helping anybody?
Well, I mean, it's really not, but it's actually inappropriate to bring other kids to the ER anyway. I
If they're
mean,
not
if
sick.
right, I mean, if you're sick and you have children, you probably need to consider finding a babysitter or leaving your spouse at home with your kid,
Right.
because
I agree with
because
that.
most of the time we don't even allow children under a certain age in the ER unless they are the patient.
Right, right.
And then you just can't get angry with us because we said no.
Well, but people get angry because other people try to discipline their children because they won't.
Well, and I mean, I typically will keep my mouth shut, but like if I hear a kid out there
See,
acting
you're,
crazy
you're
and
so
being,
much nicer than me because I don't keep my mouth shut
well,
anymore.
I do, but most of the time, like if we have a sick patient and they have their kids with them and their kids are acting out, I won't even bring you back to a room until I have a room with a door on it that I can shut and confine your craziness to your room. I'm like, I don't want to deal with your kids. It's not my responsibility to deal with your kids.
No, but
You
I've
chose to have
seen some of
them.
those children or cold kids when I walk past the doorways back in the ER. they have those rooms tore apart. Like they're going through the cabinets, the drawers. They got the trash cans pulled apart. I've seen all that. And why is the parent allowing that?
I don't know.
There's so much nastiness in that trash can.
Well, yeah, because I've seen some of the things I've had to throw away in the trash can, and it's not pretty. It's gross.
No.
It's really gross. And you have those people who are acting out and will poop in the trash can on top of that.
Oh, gross. I would have to beat somebody down. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's happened. I've seen a patient stick their butt through the bar on a bed and poop in the trash can.
They'd be wearing that trash can home. I'm just saying. You ain't doing that on my shift. You ain't pooping in nothing but the toilet.
I mean, it's people wild out. I'm like, and you know, kids are adorable. Love kids. I mean, I love kids as long as I get to send them home.
I don't want them to act like assholes.
No. I mean, I just feel like it's a lack of parenting. I can't say it. That word. Parenting. There you go. God, words are really hard. It's really a lack of that. It's like you can't be your kid's best friend. That's just not the way it works.
And part of it too is the system has made it hard for us to discipline our children without getting in trouble or being reported to DHS.
Well, and I get that, and there should be a limit to that. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, you can't expect your kid to grow up to be a decent person if you're not giving them any kind of standards.
So I got my tail busted when I was young. I mean, my mom even hit us with brooms and mops and stuff as far as using the handles to whop our butts. We had to pick switches off of a tree. I think I turned out pretty good.
I mean,
my kids are not feral.
I mean, girl, I got my ass beat a few good times for acting stupid. I mean, I don't know. You can definitely tell a difference from our generation to this generation.
Difference.
And I'm like, it's like, and you know, I remember back when I was a kid that they're like, what's wrong with you? You're completely different than we were. So, I mean, I know it's a big generation gaps, you know,
it is.
But it's like, I just feel like there is a lack of the P word. I can't say it.
So like me raising some of my grandkids because their mom and dad are not acceptably raising them because it's too hard. They don't listen. They don't follow rules. They want to do what they want to do. So be a parent.
Yeah. I mean,
you know, you say no.
What's that word? Why would you say that? How dare you?
It's a real word.
I mean,
I have to raise my grandkids because some of my own children cannot raise their own kids because the kids can't never be told no by that parent.
Which I don't understand. I mean, there's got to be a limit, you know. I mean, if you want to be your kid's best friend, it's not going to work. I mean, it's like you can't be their best friend. You have to be their parent first.
And that's what I tell my kids. I'm like, they have enough friends. They need a parent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the way it is. And I have to admit that I do get rather pissy with my children because I have some of their children. I'm like, how are you going to pick and choose what children you want to raise?
Yeah, that's a whole nother issue. It's like
it really is, but that's what I have to face every day.
Yeah,
why do you pick and choose these three, but not these three? Or why do you pick and choose those two and not this one?
Yeah,
you know, and how is it that I end up with them because you don't want to?
Because you're crazy enough to do it.
Damn right I am. I mean, everybody collects things. I just happen to collect children.
You do have a thing for collecting kids. So.
I do. Because they know that here it's structured. They have to do what they are supposed to do or they're in trouble, period. End of story. I don't play games.
Yeah.
And my kids know when we go out in public, you better act like we're in public. You can act an ass at home all you want. But we're in public, you better act like we're in public because I am not going to play that game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing out of this is that you have to parent your kids. I mean, you have to make them, you're responsible for the way they turn out.
Absolutely, 110%.
I mean, if you want to raise an idiot, then do that. But I don't think anybody as a parent wants to see their kids not be successful.
Exactly.
And
but
so,
I have a catch-22 on that, though, because my children, I've only gave birth to one child, and I have 14. So my other 13 children are adopted, from which like 11 of those children that are adopted were already teenagers when I got them.
Yeah.
So they'd already been geared and brought up through different kinds of situations that not under their control at all, but being, neglected or not taught or just totally pushed aside. And so some of them had no real concept of what is it even like to be a kid, let alone how do you act as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, like, you kind of dove into the whole. You got the rough kids, like.
I did get the rough kids.
You got the rough kids, and like even looking at them now, most of those rough kids have turned out great.
Yes, out of my 14 kids, I have 11 kids that are absolutely amazing. 11
Yeah.
of them are absolutely amazing. And I have 3 that are really on the fence line of whether they even have self-respect for themselves, let alone anybody else.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, you obviously have shown that, hey, I can get these kids to grow up and be good human beings, and, you've shown that. And
Yeah.
even being around you and everything, like I see the kids and they're awesome kids. So,
Not every one of them. I have 3 feral. I do.
You have your share of feral.
I don't want to take to the ER because I'm going to leave them there. So, because they're going to need medical attention before I'm done. So, I'm just saying, because those 3 are definitely my peas in a pod, I guess you could call. Yeah.
I don't know, like,
absolutely great children.
I
Great.
think a lot of it is I just wish that people would teach their kids to act appropriately when in public, like,
Exactly.
Don't be disrespectful to your elders. Don't, those are like basic things.
And do you know what these kids are saying about that these days?
What's that?
And they're teenagers. I'm talking like from 12 to 18. Well, if you respect me, then I'll respect you. No, baby, that's not how that works. You're a child. You give respect, period.
Well, a lot of it is you have to earn respect.
But if you're a child, you earn the respect you get as a child, not as an adult.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like people these days are like, give me, you owe me, you owe me, you owe me. And it's like, actually, no, I don't owe you shit. I haven't, there's not a damn thing I owe you for.
Let me give you a good example of just a Sunday, okay? Which was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so just Sunday.
Okay, so guys, we are recording early. This is our typical thing. So this was even mine and Reed's typical thing. We record a couple of days early, then we get our episodes out. So the explanation of, yes, yesterday was Easter and it was Sunday. So anyway, go on.
So anyway, one of my grandchildren asked me, can I call my mother? And I said, yes, here in just a little bit. And they were like, I would like to call them now because they didn't bring me an Easter basket.
Oh, wow.
Are you entitled to an Easter basket? And so they called their mother and was like, oh, I just want to tell you I love you and good night. And I'm like, no, tell them the real reason you called. Tell them how mad you were and what you were saying. Because this child was saying, I don't ever want my mother to come back here because she didn't get me an Easter basket.
Oh, wow.
Now, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. But this is how this child grew up until I got him 2 years ago. And no respect, none at all. It's all about what can you give me and what can I get. And when we go to the store or even to the ER, he throws a fit, acts out, and we have to leave because I'm not going to sit here and let him act like that in public.
Well, I mean, I understand that. I wouldn't either. I'm like, no. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to leave and we'll reevaluate our situation later.
No, we don't reevaluate. You'll stay at home and I'll go back to the store. That's what we want to do. I'm just saying, because I don't play that.
I mean, that's really the appropriate thing to do. If your kid's acting crazy and screaming and acting a fool and you're somewhere in public, let them out, leave.
Yeah, That's what I do. I mean, no, sometimes I'll pop that butt. I don't care. Been reported to DHS for spanking my child in public in Walmart. Well, if you guys want to raise them, come get them.
I mean, that's the sad thing about
14
it.
of them.
I remember.
14 of them. Come get them.
I remember one time my nephew, he lived with my parents and I, and my mom spanked his butt, and he threatened to call DHS on her, and she was like, "Let me get the phone for you, and I'll even dial the number. I'll even dial the number.
Yep.
No problem.
Absolutely. 110%.
Here, if they want you, I'll even go pack your bags for you."
Definitely. Oh, you got stuff in the dryer? I'm sorry. You have to wait for it to dry. Yeah.
I'll ship it to you. It's fine.
I have these. I have a 10-year-old grandson who tells me all the time, "I'm going to run away," because he doesn't get his way.
Oh,
And I
okay.
just get his little sandwich made, stick it in the baggie, get his little clothes in a little overnight duffel bag and set it on the porch. Say, "Bye, I'll see you later."
That's
what do you want me to do?
awful.
I'm not going to blow, smoke bubbles up your butt.
Yeah.
So if you're going to run away, go. You don't have to tell me, just go. I'll report you as missing or as a runaway, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
You'll be back. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be
It'll
back.
get dark. I know you'll be back.
The sun's going down. He wants his warm bed back.
Well, he did run away, so
Oh, wow.
I didn't have to call the police, and dark had just hit, and he'd been gone for about an hour and a half maybe, and he never left town. We live in a very tiny town, but he never left town, but he was hiding in the ditches and in the tall grass whenever a car would go by, but he was literally like almost in front of our home.
Oh, wow.
And so my other son caught up with him and found him because he was coming back home because it was dark.
That didn't last very long.
Yeah, it didn't last very long. He was scared. And it was cold because he had on a pair of shorts.
Well, I mean, that would be me if I threatened to run away. I'd be like, it's dark, it's cold, and I want a hot shower in my bed. Leave me alone.
And I need some food.
And I'm hungry.
Yeah, no, it didn't last very long. Let me tell you, he was back in a flash. So, but he has a police report on it now, though, because I did call the police and report it.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to do that anyway, so, I mean.
Yeah, that keeps some of those feral children under control at some point.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that was our episode for Wednesday, the 8th. Thank you, Mickey, for coming and hanging out again.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yes, I did too. Again, guys, I do have TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat. What's the other one?
TikTok?
No, I said TikTok. Oh, God, I can't think of the other one. Yeah, anyway, it's there. I'll eventually think of it. After we finish this episode, I'll think of it and be like, I'm a dummy. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us again. We will have episode 10 out, or I'm sorry, the Cuss and Discuss out on Friday. God, words are hard. My brain's not functioning. I haven't had enough days off. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Loves, cuddles, and kisses.
Have a great day.